I've got a standard square canvas here, 2048 by 2048, and we're going to use this to make the elements of mandala templates. So the first thing we want to do is create a grid. So we're going to go to the wrench up here at the top, go over here to canvas, turn on the drawing guide, then edit drawing guide, and we want this to be a little bit larger because we want room to make a template with. We're going to use the grid as a nice guide. So let's go down here to the grid size. If you just tap here on this number and type in 102, then click on Done, and click on Done again, we have a very nice template maker right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start out with a square, which I have set here at the top of 10%. And I tap that in the middle of the screen, and I'm going to center it. Let's make sure that snapping has both magnetics and snapping on. My distance is at 24, velocity is 6.2, and I just want to center this onto the screen. And as you can see, that's almost exactly the same size as the grid here. And that's the only reason I have it there, is to show me where the center of the grid is. We're going to go up a layer, and we're going to turn on Drawing Assist. And what I want to do is use our monoline A that we created in our last lesson, and I want to create this box right here. So I'm going to go down and over and down and over. And let's get rid of the excess. There. Oh, it's on soft brush. Let's put it on the hard brush. Yeah, that's better. I'm just trying to dim that out a little bit so that it looks correct. There we go. That's good enough. And then we're going to go up one level, and we're going to create another one here. It's going to start getting awkward, so what I'm going to do is create this line, and I'm going to erase to this point. I'm just tapping until it all fades away. And then we'll do the same thing down here. And just tapping until it all fades away. And then I'm going to duplicate this layer. And I have that on the wrong layer. When that happens, use your freehand selection. You just simply tap on the S ribbon at the top. Choose freehand instead of automatic. We're going to circle this. Go to the wrench/spanner. Go to Add, Cut. And let's go up to, we don't need that. We're going to create a layer 3. And we'll paste that. And there it is. So now what I want to do is duplicate that layer 3, rotate 90 degrees. So you tap this little arrow up here at the top, tap on rotate 45 degrees twice, Or, of course, you can grab the little green dot and move it 6 times. Either way will work. Then I want to move this all the way up until it snaps to there. Then move it all the way over until it snaps to here. And then I'm going to tap, tap, tap it until it matches up perfectly. And then we merge this down. And we duplicate this. And we're going to merge it or flip it 90 degrees again, so that gives us the other corner. We merge down. We merge down again. We can turn off layer 1 because we know where the center is now. And we're going to go up to layer 3, and we're going to do that again. And we're going to do that until we get squares going all the way up to, yeah, here is good. That'll give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares total. And just because I'm a really lazy person, I'm going to do them all at once. And I will speed paint through this so you don't have to watch it go over and over and over again. And I will be back in just a moment. Okay, and I'm sure you've noticed that these are not all on the lines. So we're going to do that freehand select again. And then we tap on that arrow and we zoom down and we get these to go onto the lines. That one's good. Let's see, that one's good. This one and this one and this one are not. Okay, and we've got that. So we're going to duplicate this layer. And we want to rotate it 90 degrees again. And get it to match up with this one. And we merge that down. And we're going to duplicate it. Rotate it 90 degrees. It matches up. We can merge that down. And I'm going to merge that down again. So now here on layer 2, if we turn off the drawing guide visual, we have these nice squares. And what's so great about these nice squares, you might ask? Well, we can now use these to build a mandala template. I'm going to do a fit to screen. And then I'm going to invert, copy. And just because I want to keep the original, I'm going to click the undo until it's back to small again. And we are going to start up another new brush for the shape. Edit, import, paste. Click on done. Stroke path, max. We'll use light glaze, Apple Pencil all the way down to none. Maximum size 800. And we'll leave Orient to Screen on. And we'll use a stamp preview. Click on Done, and we can see it there. So now, when we use this brush, which is all squares, we tap there. And then we can center it. And we can duplicate it. Rotate it 45. And we get this, which is really nice. So this kind of lets you create any sort of shape from squares that you want. Let's see, that's uniform. Move that down, move this up. And you've got diamonds inside of squares. It makes a really nice template. And let's go ahead and go for the next template. Okay, what we're going to do next is we're going to set up some crosses, both solid and dotted lines, so we can make other elements of the mandalas. We're going to use the monoline A with canvas on. We're going to 2D grid and turn on drawing assist and draw a line going down. Make sure that magnetics is off. Fit to screen, and that puts it into the center. We can then duplicate that. And then you can either rotate 45 degrees twice, or you can turn on magnetics and snap it until it gets to 90 degrees. Either way will work. And we're going to merge this down. We're going to invert it and copy. And then we'll go up here to the squares and duplicate it. And we go down to Shape, Edit, Import, and then Paste. And then we click on Done. And we're going to call this Cross Solid. And we give that a done. And with this, we'll be able to make solid lines we simply center. We have solid lines that go up, down, left, right, like we see here. We can go in 15-degree increments. And of course, we can do that famous 22.5, which is exactly between 0 and 45. And then what we're going to do is the exact same thing again, but we're going to, of course, use the dotted line. Let's turn on the assisted drawing, draw a line down, and you can see that it's a dotted line. Make sure snapping is off, and we do fit to screen, duplicate it, go 90 degrees, merge down, invert, copy, invert again, Duplicate the cross solid. We're going to call this cross dot. And we're going to call this cross dot 1. Because what we're going to do is create a larger dotted line. Let's go into Shape, Edit, Import, Paste. Give this done. We'll go back to our dotted line, and this time we're going to raise this up to 3%. Turn on the assisted drawing, and as you can see, it's slightly bigger. Let's try 5%. Well, it needs to be even bigger. But if we make it too big, it'll distract us. I think this will do nicely. I'm going to duplicate this so that it's a bit darker. How's that look? Oh yes, that looks much better. Once again, select, fit to screen, duplicate, 90 degrees, merge down, invert, copy, invert again, shape, edit, import, paste, give that a done, and this is cross dot 2, and give that a done. Alright, so that gives us squares, and it gives us crosses. What about circles? Well, that's where things get fun. We're going to turn off that. We're going to turn on our drawing guide. We do not have drawing assist on. And we're going to pick 4 squares here. And the model line A. And we're going to make a circle. Tap on the screen to make it a perfect circle. We can do an edit shape. Grab the line between the dots to resize. Move outside the dots to move your circle. And then tap outside when you're done. So we've got this nice little circle here. And what we want to do is create our next circle. That fills there, and then there, and so on. So I'm going to speed this part up so you don't have to get bored watching me. Feel free to do this for yourself, of course. Alright, and there we go. And we will go ahead and turn this into a stamp as well. We'll do the invert, copy, invert, oops, gotta merge that one down with the others, don't I? Invert, copy, invert, and I'll just duplicate the squares, that way it'll be up here where they are. Edit, import, paste, done. And we've got circles. And something's not quite right. I know what it is. I forgot to zoom it out. That's better. And create the reset point. So as you can see, we've got the circles, we've got the squares, we've got the solids and everything. So let's create a quick Mandala template just to show you how. We can turn this off. And let's start with the solid cross. We center it. And I'm going to duplicate it. And we want it to go 45 degrees. And merge that down. And then we'll go with the cross dot 1. And by the way, I'm keeping these at 60%. That way, whenever I tap them in, they're going to be the right size. Presumably, that one seems to be a lot bigger. Oh, that one's at 50. So if that's at 50, then we'll put this one at 50. That's better. And we want to center this one, but this one is getting in the way, so we'll turn it off. There we go. And we'll duplicate this. And we're going to go 22.5 on this one. And on this one, we'll go minus 22.5. So that's 22.5 minus. And it rotates it the other way. And we can now merge these three layers together. And let's go with the squares, also at 50. And tap that in the middle. I forgot to go up a layer. There we are. And we'll center this. There we go. And now I want to duplicate this layer. I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees. And then I'm going to resize it so it's inside of this one. We match it at the top. We're on uniform. And we match it at the bottom. And that puts it all together. So here is our nice little template. And I will now use this to create a mandala. We'll fit that to screen. I've already reduced the opacity of that layer. And we'll just go to monoline A, and away we go. And there you go, a nice simple mandala created using a template that we made from template building pieces. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and you have a wonderful day.